What's up, everyone? It's Cha here. I don't really make YouTube videos, but today I'm gonna make a YouTube video on my thoughts for Predecessor and Fault, and my opinions on both the games. Um, I'm a little bit biased towards Fault because I've played it more. Sadly, I didn't get into Predecessor the first weekend, but I did get an email for Predecessor, and I only played a few games this weekend. Sadly, I didn't check my email until Sunday, and I only played a few games Sunday night, so I'm a little biased towards Fault. But next weekend, I'll 100% play Predecessor, but for now, we're biased towards Fault. But I think I have a good understanding of both games and some good points to point out in this video, so let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, if you guys want to follow me on my Twitch, it's twitch.tv/cha. And the gameplay in the background is basically just Fault gameplay. It might be my Quang jungle or some kind of support gameplay as well. If you guys want to support me on Patreon, it'd be very helpful, especially right now. If you guys want to go to my Patreon, it's only $3. I might offer more stuff like coaching. I don't know. We'll see. But also, yeah, follow me on Twitch and maybe subscribe there. Just show me some support. Hope as literally as this video is going live and you were watching this, I'll probably be live on it playing with my boy Appy Picker. But yeah, now let's get into my points for the video. So I'm kind of basically reading off of what I said or a script in my Word document. But honestly, in my opinion, from my experience, I think the Fault devs are a little bit better. Not just like maybe just better at responding. Like I messaged Sylphin on Discord, a lot of feedback of what I think needs to be done and stuff like that. And he messaged me back. I pop it up on screen, and he pretty much asked if we could have a chat and just hear my experiences and stuff like that. You see the message, there it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna chat with him whenever he's free. So that's pretty cool. But whereas like I messaged two predecessor devs, I messaged Smokey and RGS Ace, I believe, asking for a key just so I can get my hands on it and get more in depth and just play it before like Fault came out, and I never got a key. Now I have played a few games in a few matches in both games, but I've played a lot more games in Fault, and I'm also sorry about like I might be all over the place with my words and just talking and my points and stuff. I'm not used to this, but hope you guys enjoy anyways, and just share your comments down below. What you think, what one's better and stuff like that. What could they both improve on and whatnot. But that being said, when I played Fault or Predecessor, it felt smooth. Maybe because I wasn't streaming it at the time, my computer wasn't running like full force, but I did have graphics set up all the way and it was running smooth. I didn't know my ping or my FPS, so that could be helpful in the future if they add that. But again, I wasn't streaming, so my PC wasn't having like any extra browsers, and there was no interruptions, and there was no like it was just the game strictly on my PC running. So that could be why it ran so smoothly. But Fault also ran smooth for the most part, but it was a little bit laggy. But I was also streaming that mostly when I was playing, so that could be one of the issues when it comes to like why I was lagging. But I know that there were some like lag spikes or FPS drops when team fights happened. I felt that in Predecessor 2, but not as much, but could be because I wasn't streaming Predecessor when I was playing it. Uh, I'll do like side by side clips and stuff like that. But yeah, both of them ran smooth. Predecessor was a little bit smoother though, but
An enemy has
maybe it's
been
just because I was streaming.
slain.
Obviously, a lot of people were upset because of the delay for Fault on the first night, and like they pushed it back, and the servers weren't acting like great, and they were really laggy and stuff like that. It was very hard to get into a game, but also this was like the first time Predecessor launched. They were launching towards to everyone if you paid.
An
Um,
ally has been
Predecessor also
slain.
had this issue, but to a smaller scale because when they launched the very first time a year ago or so, I don't even remember, they had a lot of issues. Servers weren't good. It was hard. Both games had very bad launches for the first day or the first time, but now Fault the servers are better because not as many people are trying to get into a game at once. In Predecessor, also feels and looks good from what I've seen and what I've played. So I think the servers are kind of balancing out. Fault does have servers open 24/7 unless they have a patch that they're going to send out.
An enemy
Um,
has been
but
slain.
yeah, so I think both servers over time are going to get better. Predecessor only is open during the weekend, which is fine. It gives them time during the week to push out a large patch.
Enemy tower
As to
destroyed.
Fault, you get small minor patches that I believe that's what they're going to do, and they'll just shut the game down for a few hours like they did on the first patch. They already patched it Fault once, and it fixed a lot of bugs in the jungle, so that's nice. Um, Now this next part that I'm going to talk about is
Ally
a little
has
bit
been
about money and
slain.
like paying for the game versus not
An
paying.
enemy has been
Yeah,
slain.
people are crying about Fault. Yeah, like if you want to play, you have to pay for it. People are saying it's a scam or whatever, but you know the devs care, and like I said, they pushed out a patch like the first or second night of the game being out. They fixed a lot of small
An
bugs, small
enemy has
things.
been slain.
My longest game that I played in was 75 minutes, and then the next day when the patch came out, my games were quick. Um, I don't mind, you know,
Ally
paying 14
enemy has
bucks, not a
been
big deal.
slain.
With the
At
servers
these
being open
fucking
24/7 and with
nuts.
them getting some cash in their pockets, they can fix things like audio. They can always have the game running. They can work towards making the game smoother and stuff like that. Um, but I'm not sure if a lot of people remember this, but a long time ago, when one of the main devs for Predecessor was making the game, they were streaming it on Twitch. I think he became partnered or affiliated or something. I believe he was streaming it under Paragon, so he would pull in viewers that way. He wasn't necessarily
Ally has
asking for
been
money. I
slain.
never really watched him long enough. I'd go in, ask
An
him questions,
enemy has been
stuff like that.
slain.
But I don't think he ever asked for money, but I know that his dono goal said like money for servers. So technically, Predecessor like
An
has asked for
enemy has
money
been
and
slain.
stuff like that to pay for servers, and also with him streaming the game under Paragon, a lot of people subscribed to him, so he was getting a lot of money from the community. I mean, not a lot of people talked about this. I don't think I've heard anyone say anything like this about Predecessor like kind of asking for money. Like he gained a lot of subs, I think, and like in my eyes, that's I don't know. It's just something that they did too. Like he kind of asked for money, but like not really. Just by streaming it, it allowed people to see it, and people were like, "Wow, let me support this Paragon game." Kind of like, I don't know. It's just it's a weird subject, but I don't know if a lot of people remember it. So both teams have asked
Enemy
for money, I
tower
guess, if you think about it.
destroyed.
So yeah, that's just my two
An
cents right
enemy
there.
has
Like
been
you can't be
slain.
mad at Fault for asking for money when Predecessor devs have literally streamed and asked for money that way. So, I mean, if anyone disagrees with me, you can probably go back to his VODs. I don't know, maybe he deleted them, but I know that was something that I've seen, and I
An
think I saw him
ally has
get
been
a good
slain.
amount of money every time that he would stream or like when I tuned in. Honestly, I think Predecessor is more focused towards like
Slain.
players who can pick up a game quickly and you can just go into your game and just play. Like I went in to my second game, I played as Gideon. I didn't even know what to build, but there was just items that said power and it was you just pick an item and then it seemed like there weren't a lot of items. It didn't seem like there was as much depth, but I feel like it's easier for new players to just pick up and play. Like I played as Gideon my second game and I got like 10 kills. Um,
An
and we won
enemy has
within like
been
15
slain.
minutes because they surrendered. But I do think Predecessor's a little bit targeted towards like people that honestly I don't think there's as high of a skill
Ally
gap
has
in
been
Predecessor
slain.
as there is in Fault. Fault has a lot of like
An
a
enemy
lot more
has been
depth
slain.
and a larger skill gap. Especially when it comes to aspects. It's kind of similar to League of
Allied
Legends with the
tower
runes in League. If
destroyed.
you played League of Legends, Um, you before a
An
game, you
enemy
pick
has been
runes to like go
Ally
off
has
of
been
the character
slain.
that you're building. It's kind of what the aspects are, but not as not as in depth to like versus League of Legends. It's kind of similar to League, but it's not. You just pick like runes or you pick aspects to build, and you can pick an aspect to counter. Say you have a steal, you can counter a steal with having a Titan or something to reduce CC. So there's a lot of depth in Fault, I think, because there's the aspects. You have like a lot of aspects to pick from. The card system, you pick one item and it can branch out to like 5 different items and stuff like that. Like MOBAs are supposed to be rewarding. You're not supposed to just pick up a game right away and pop off. Literally, my first game of Fault, it was so rough. I did so bad. I didn't even know what to pick for my aspects. I was late to the jungle, so I was like 2 minutes behind, and it was so rough. Like that's where the skill gap comes in. Like once you know what to build, once you know where to go, once you know like the path that you want to take and the items you want to build, it'll get better. And I think a much like higher skill gap game where the ceiling is higher, it's much more rewarding, especially if you can pop off that one game. Even as a support, if you pop off, it's so fun. It's very rewarding. Obviously, Predecessor is rewarding too. It's a MOBA. If you win, you feel great. But I think Predecessor has a lower skill gap, so like you play a game, you pop off, it's easier to pop off, I feel like, and there's not as much depth to it. So like winning a game in Fault does feel more rewarding. You grind out the jungle, you learn the paths, you learn how to kite the camps. I am gonna post a clip up right now of literally how you can kite the camps and how much like how awesome it is to kite 2 camps together. You can literally kite the red buff to one of the bat camps and kill both camps at once at level 1. If you want to sweat even harder, you can literally get your support to pull the bat camp and you pull the red camp. You meet up in the spot, you start damaging the other camp that he pulls, so then you get all aggro of 5 minions, kill them within under 2 minutes and you're already like level 3. It's kind of insane, and the skill gap in Fault is way higher and much more rewarding. And like I was literally like freaking out on stream, pogging out of my mind of what I was like finding out you can do in the jungle for Fault. I I know like it's a little biased right now towards Fault, but like I'm just saying if Predecessor can have more of a skill gap, higher ceiling, maybe just a few more points. In my opinion, I thought Predecessor had way better sounds. Some of the animations were a little bit smoother, and like when I played Gideon, his abilities seemed a lot more impactful, in my opinion. Um, 100%, I thought Predecessor did have the better sounds, but like when I was playing Quang and Fault, his sword sounded like someone said in someone's chat, he's clacking 2 spoons together. So I think they need to polish their sounds a little bit. Also, Predecessor had 1,000 times better, 1,000,000 times better. Their HUD was way better. I know, I heard from someone that Fault is getting a group of people to update their HUD. I think I leaked that. Hopefully I don't get in trouble, but I know that they're going to update their HUD in a few weeks or two. Um, so we'll see what that looks like. Hopefully it's better, but Predecessor had really good HUD. Even the draft lobby was, I felt a lot better. I like the effect that it's been doing and stuff like that. So 10 out of 10 from Predecessor on the HUD and the sounds and stuff like that. Actually, that's probably my last point. Pretty much all the points that I covered. I'm sorry if I was biased towards Fault. I promise I'll play Predecessor next week when they go live again. I'll probably try to stream it so I get some clips of both and compare both games. If people are actually watching this video for this long, I appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe for other videos. I'm going to try to do some jungle guides, even for both games probably, but maybe mainly towards Fault. Right now I'm going to be streaming all day, the rest of the day on Fault. I'm gonna be playing with my dude Appy. Games are chill. We vibe out. No sweaty comms. We might 5 stack, but we don't get in comms. We just chill. We vibe out, listen to music, and have a good time. Uh, one more thing, 2 more things actually. Totally understand why Fault is asking for people to pay. It's going to speed up the process so they can improve audio and smooth out other characters. Like I said, Predecessor has their audio good. I feel like the character movement in Predecessor is a little bit smoother right now. But now that people are paying and Fault is getting a little bit extra money from backing, uh, I think the characters in Fault won't be as clunky. It's going to take some time to smooth out. But people just need to remember both games are in early access. They aren't going to be smooth right away. They're not going to feel like Paragon. But honestly, when Paragon was shutting down, I didn't play it that often. I played Fortnite, I know, and then I went to play one game of Paragon, and I thought Paragon felt like shit. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Right now, I think Fault and Predecessor feel better than Paragon, but I don't remember exactly how Paragon felt. Some animations in Paragon were a lot better, but you know, in time, both Predecessor and Fault will smooth their games out. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Both teams are working really hard on pushing out patches and fixing their game, and we'll see what next week holds. Next weekend for Predecessor, Fault could change drastically by the next weekend too. But sadly, you know, I kind of wish both games would come together. But obviously, there's going to be like management, maybe egos, probably not, hopefully not, but management, people butting heads on what to do, stuff like that. Honestly, like if they came together, I think the game would be perfect and it'd speed up the process a lot more. But obviously, in a perfect world, we aren't in a perfect world. 2020, you know, it's been a great, crazy year, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe it will. Maybe they do come together and become one, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen. But you know, maybe it was an idea that they had, but you know, they just I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. Probably super long, but I'm out. Y'all have a good week. I'll try to make more content. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. If you disliked the video, let me know what game you're leaning towards, Predecessor or Fault. I'm gonna try both games. Play Fault this week, Predecessor this weekend. Probably play both of this weekend, and we'll be streaming. We'll be vibing. Y'all take care. I'll see you later. Tune into my stream as well. Peace out.
Ally has been slain. Enemy has been slain.
Yo, oh my god, 150, 60 viewer host, dude. Oh my god, dude. I'm yo,
Whoa,
Mike, dude. That's
you
big.
better not choke. You better not choke.
That's big, Pog, dude. Holy shit, dude. Now I'm nervous. Now I'm getting sweaty.
Dude, stop,
Dude, I'm actually sweating. Like, actually.